I'm super elated to be sharing this recipe with you because this is my favorite baked product, the banana loaf with its assorted toppings. This is so delicious, and the bite into this is heavenly. And if you are not a fan of nuts, this recipe is just as delicious without the toppings. So there is no excuse not to try this out. So sampled here are the ingredients which will be listed on screen and also in the description box. I always like to start with the dry ingredients. So here I have my 1 3/4 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon baking soda, half teaspoon ground cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon salt. I'll go on to sieve this, break apart the lumps of baking soda, give it a good mix and set aside. The next ingredient of this recipe is our very ripe banana. Here I have 430 grams of very ripe bananas. So I'm just going to mash this up. You can mash them all up, but I prefer to have some lumps in the mixture because nothing gives you that feeling of biting into banana when this bread is ready. It is super delicious. So next is our butter. Here I have measured 113 grams of unsalted butter. So I'm going to cream this up. My hand mixer was bad, so I used the wooden spatula. So you see, you can always alternate your equipment when one is not available. So I'm just going to cream this. I creamed this for 10 minutes until the butter has changed its color to white and it was very fluffy and light. So I'm going to show us the peak of the butter. Mind you, 113 grams of butter is equivalent to half cup of butter. So I kept on creaming this. If you have the hand mixer, it is way easy because you don't have to go through all the stress. Yeah, so here you can see the peak. So the butter is ready to be used. So next I'm going to go in with my brown sugar. That's 3/4 cup of brown sugar. This brown sugar is homemade. I made it at home. If you'd like to see the recipe, you can put it in the comment section and I'll show you how to make this brown sugar with only 2 ingredients. I creamed this for 5 minutes, but if you're using the hand mixer or the stand mixer, you can go on to cream this for 3 minutes. So I creamed this until the brown sugar was well incorporated into the butter. I scraped down, from time to time to make sure that the mixing is well done. So if you can feel the grittiness of the sugar in the butter at this point, is fine. Once you introduce the eggs, all of that grittiness will be gone. At this point, I'm satisfied with the mixture, so I'm going to add our eggs. We're using 2 large eggs in this recipe, so you'd want to put the eggs one at a time. The reason is because you do not want to have an egg soup at the bottom. So I'm going to go on to cream this until it is well or properly mixed. Then I would go in with the second egg, and then I would continue to cream. I creamed the batter 2 minutes in between each egg additions, but if you're using the hand mixer, you can do that for 30 seconds and the batter will just be properly mixed. At this point, the batter is grit-free. The sugar is properly dissolved and everything looks so smooth. When the smooth texture has been achieved after 2 minutes of creaming, then I was going with our vanilla flavor. So I'm adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavor in this batter. I would go on to cream this. I'll cream it until everything is properly incorporated. So the next thing we're going to add to this batter is the final ingredient. That is what gives this banana bread the name. So we're going to go in with our mashed bananas, and I'm just pouring it into this batter, and wow, the smell of the vanilla and everything is so delicious. You already know that this batter is going to be something else. I used the wooden spatula to circulate it, and then I went in with the silicone spatula because I didn't want to break up the lumps of the banana. That is that's going to give this bread that wow taste. So I mix this up and then I put in the dry ingredients. I put it in batches. The first batch and then I added some milk, really thick milk consistency. So this milk is just basically 14 teaspoons of dry milk and half cup of water. So you can see how thick it is. Mind you, adding milk to this recipe is optional. I just love that milky flavor in it, and I was making this bread for my husband, so I wanted him to have the full exploding deliciousness in his mouth. So that's the last batch, and I will go on to add the remaining milk and mix these up together. At this point, we are no longer creaming the batter, so what we do is fold just to make sure that the flour is properly incorporated with the wet ingredients and there are no streaks of flour left. Please make sure not to over mix or over cream or over fold this batter at this point, because over mixing flour would result in activating the gluten in the flour, and then your baked good is going to come out sunken, like the middle is already depressed or very heavy and hard. So the next thing, I was going with the coconut flakes. I'm just going to add this, then mix it up. The coconut flakes that I'm adding at this point is just that beautiful obstacle that is going to come in contact with your teeth when you're biting into this banana bread. So I'm going to put the batter into the 2 pans. Do not overfill the pan with the batter. You can fill each pan to at most 2/3 of it, because we are supposed to give it space to rise. Next, we're going to introduce the toppings. So the toppings I have here are the cashew nut, almond nut, coconut flakes, the chocolate chips, and mixed fruit. You can add as much toppings as you like. Then you give this pan a light tap and take it to the oven. Speaking of oven, it should be preheating at 350 degrees before you pop this delicious batter right in. You can bake this batter at 350 degrees for 45 minutes or until a toothpick or skewer comes out dry. So here we have it, bakers, our delicious banana bread, fresh out the oven, very soft, fluffy. Wow, this tastes so good. So I want you guys to try this and tell me what you think in the comment section, because this right here is my favorite baked goods. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you try it out. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new here, please do well to subscribe and watch out for more delicious recipe. Thank you so much, and bye.